Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself. I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. Happy Friday to you. It's Friday, right? Please don't tell me that my brain thought it.
You know what day it is. You know what day it is.
I had that 1 second where I was like, hold on a minute. Did I just get people to the weekend and we're not there yet?
Oh, no.
Because I can't do that in my head either.
It's Nostalgia Fridays.
All right, so Sly.
Let's go.
Sly, I brought in Nutty Buddies the other day. I thought it was pretty cool. Sly just brought in
Smorgasbord.
He brought in to the station today all of the things. So the straight syrup hug fruit barrel juice things that you peel that foil
Here's
off
to
of.
hoping for summer.
Remember when you peel the foil off, kids? The kids nowadays don't know about it.
I
said, if the juice makes your throat itch, you might have a lot of sugar in that drink. So,
And he's just downing like 8 of them.
and then look, donut sticks, and then honey buns. Napolis, you know what that is? You got to try the 7 seconds in the microwave honey bun today. All right?
Make sure you take the plastic off, though.
Yeah. Don't cook it in the bag, no. Welcome into the program. It's a Nostalgia Friday on the program here today. As Sly said, we have all of the treats that your parents wouldn't buy you, but your rich friends had.
Yes.
And
This is why you always wanted to have sleepovers.
This is when you go. I was always blown away. I'd be like, you guys have Little Debbie's here? And they're like, looking there, they go, oh, yeah, I guess we do. And I'm like,
I guess we do.
these would be hidden under my pillow, and they were. Like, I would hide. That's got to be where the fatness came from. Like, just trauma of not having, the struggle meals mostly. I'm making it sound like
How many siblings did you have, though?
5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're in a house full of stuff. You are hiding.
And I was the youngest.
Yes.
So, like,
You're fighting for your life.
I'm the runt of the litter.
Every day.
That was the only time I was the runt of the litter for the first couple of years. But I'm telling you, it was, I say it like it's not real struggle meals like my parents weren't putting food on the table. It was more like, hey, we're saving a bunch of money, and the way we're doing it is there will never be soda.
Brands.
There will never be soda, not just knockoff brands. Yeah, when you're bringing Shasta to school, kids are like, what the heck's going on here?
Shasta.
And you're like, all right. And then it became great value. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Nostalgia Friday. Sly has the
Bringing it
glasses
back.
on in studio, sitting in for JJ, who will be back on Monday. We've got lots to get through today because it's a shortened show. We've got we're up against it with a Jazz basketball game tonight. And so that start up early is going to be putting you at a 5 p.m. pre and a 6 p.m. tip-off. And so Jazz basketball right after our program's over here on a Friday. So let's get things kicked off here. Let's jump in. Let's do some spring football a little bit, some spring cleaning because, as Sly always says, spring football, it's the most important kind of football. So let's get into it because it's April.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Look at me. I thought I was being good. I brought in the sugar-free liquid IV packet to pour in my water later. So I got to get my electrolytes.
And Sly says,
This guy rolls up.
You're not doing that today.
Fudge stripes in here, too. All right. Not in the studio, of course.
Oh, my foster
Somewhere
brother
else
used to
there.
have those. He hid those in his closet. We found exactly where his
I know.
hiding spot was.
All right, so as we kick things off here, first of all, happy Final Four weekend, and
Yes.
we're going to be, of course, dipping into some hoops, and we're going to see how these teams are going to match up here. I have one more chance. I have Arizona going to the championship game. I only have one opportunity to win points the rest of my bracket, and it's to Arizona getting on to the next round. And if they do that, then I think I'll beat my 4-year-old daughter. I still won't win it, but I have to beat her.
You need
I have to
bragging
beat her.
rights in the house.
So there you go. Happy Easter weekend and happy Final Four weekend as well. So as we get into it here, I saw something that was pretty interesting yesterday, and I'm glad we're talking about it because when A-Rod doesn't A-Rod look like a studious dude? He always wears the glasses now, and he's been at the offensive coordinator position now at BYU for long enough that you feel like he's always looked way young, and like now he's just. I'm not saying he looks old, A-Rod. I'm not saying you look old, What I'm saying is that you look like
You've been there for a while.
He's been there for a while. He's got the glasses on. Probably has to put on readers like I do. And look, he's in it now. And this is his offense. He's comfortable with it. People were wondering what it was going to look like. The drop off from tight end from Carson Ryan. Walker Lyons, of course, comes in, and that's a big name. It's a former 4-star guy coming in from USC. Obviously, his brother's a big get, and he's going to be off of a mission and then playing quarterback at BYU at some point. But I think that the good news for them is that they look and they go, we aren't dropping off at all. These guys are impressing like crazy during spring ball. So I think BYU's tight end situation that people were wondering about, and you obviously need a really, really good tight end in that system. A-Rod operates at his best when he has that guy that they can go to and that outlet for somebody, and it takes a lot of pressure off the wide receivers. The running game, if you've got a really, really good tight end on top of the fact that he can block well, it just is. It's just a good thing all around because A-Rod loves to have that tight end in the system. So what's cool about this is that when he talks about these guys, like we're actually getting a picture of it. And this is, if a BYU fan is out there, the additions that they're getting on the offense that he talked about yesterday at practice is huge. So here's A-Rod, spring ball, talking about the goodness of the dudes coming in, how good these guys are who are a part of this team now as they try to replace wide receivers and tight ends from last year.
I can't believe we've talked this long and nobody asked about those guys yet because that's two of the best players on our team, and they've shown it this spring. Those guys are good ball players. They're going to be a big part of our offense, and both of them have had a great spring, and we made it very clear to them before they came here that it's not a competition between you two. It's a competition between all the skill players in our program to prove that you're indispensable, and then we'll figure out the personnel groupings.
Yeah, I actually really love that. One, because those guys are talented guys, and I've been calling Roger Saliapunga's game since he was at Orem with JJ. He's an absolute stud. And so it's actually funny because I forgot, where did he originally commit to? And then he transferred in here.
I thought it might have been USC also. Let me see.
Well, because I was just like, because I told JJ, I was
Oregon. It was Oregon,
yes.
right?
Yeah, it's Oregon. And because I was like, tell JJ, I'm just like, with this new landscape, new climate of transfer portal, NIL world, the recruiting never stops. Just because a guy committed somewhere, he could come right back. That's exactly what I said about Roger. So I'm just like, whoever was recruiting him, I think it was Jay Hill or somebody was at the time, I'm just like, they should definitely show up to his signing party or whatever it is. Just be like, hey, congrats, just keep that bridge there. And because I think it was between BYU and Oregon was the final two that he was choosing from, and it came full circle. He comes back, I think just a year later, and he's going to be a huge factor in that offense. Huge receiver, big athletic ability. Him, Walker Lyons, it could be the 2009 BYU that was outstanding on offense that they absolutely loved with the two tight end system, which is really the NFL system, right? You look at Bear Bachmeier. Big body, nice arm, Josh Allen-esque type playmaking ability. They've got 3 or 4 tight ends over there in Buffalo. They're going to run a lot of similar offense that Buffalo is doing, and that was tops in the league in a lot of categories. So that is a huge plus when you lose Roberts, Kingston, and a lot of other playmakers on that offensive side of the ball. You have those two guys coming in and being absolute studs for BYU.
So the thing that's interesting about all of this is that when he talks about Roger Saliapunga, by the way, I mean, he was hurt for, I think, quite a bit of the first season that he was there. And then, but when he came back from injury, so he caught a touchdown in the game against Oregon in the playoff. And I remember when it happened, I remember thinking, I think that's the Orem kid.
Yeah.
It's funny because when they leave, you do this thing where you block them out, and you're like, yeah, that guy isn't coming in state, so...
he sold the soul. He should have been here.
No, it's not even about that. It's more just like, listen, we are big time. We are big time for keeping the best players that we get to see a lot of,
right.
and you get to see a lot more too when you guys call these games on Game Night Live. When you watch those guys, like, oh my goodness. When you start to look at all the guys that you watch in high school, and then you go, That dude's committed to Utah. That kid's committed to BYU. That kid's committed to Utah. That kid's committed to BYU. And then you look and you go, and then when you see him doing it, right? Sally Sylvester is one of those guys that you go, you lost that race, right? You didn't get him. But what's funny now is I think coaches just shift around and go, we'll see him in a couple of years. And guess what? Happened also, who's the Oregon wideout this year from Oregon too? Same thing. It's a guy who they feel like they should be playing a lot more. And frankly, when you go to a place and you're a 4-star guy, what do they tell you? You're our guy. This is what happened to Clark Phillips. He was at Ohio State. He rolls up there. He hadn't even totally. He's into spring ball maybe even, or at least he got to the. He's there and he realizes I'm a 4-star kid and there's 3 5-star guys in front of me on the depth chart
Here at Ohio State, yeah.
And he went, I'm out. You know why? Because I got a plan.
Sharif, I really like Sharif.
I'm getting to the league.
Yeah.
And I don't want to wait 4 years to do it. I don't want to wait 3.5 years to get the starting job. If they could listen, a 2 tight end system is going to be great.
Yes.
For these guys.
For a Bear Bachmeier type quarterback, great.
So I'm glad A-Rod, I said that too and kind of corrected everybody. Like, why aren't you guys asking me about these 2 dudes? They're probably the best, a couple of the best players on our team is what he said. Kalani sat down with the media, of course, and he had the same breakdown of everybody wants to know what's going on in the spring. You don't get a lot out of Kalani, but you do get a lot of he does talk a lot about it, but you don't necessarily get the details. So here's Kalani on spring ball wrapping up down in Provo.
I mean, I feel really good about the program and the leadership on the team. And so I think in order for you to have great leaders, you have to have people that are willing to follow. And so we have a really good dynamic in the team. I think I give a lot of credit for the player retention and surviving the portal because it's a great family, and the reason why it's a great family is because of the young men in our program and the leadership that we have. So we're able to see the leaders take their role and relish in it, but also welcome some new leaders to our program in spring, and it's been really nice. I mean, I know it's one thing, if you look at the position of the quarterback, it helps having a guy that played for us, last year and understands the offense. That makes it a lot easier. And I think even things like having Trayson Bourget there with Bear is going to be really helpful for us. I thought Trayson did some really good things in spring, and we know we can win games with him.
Also wanted just to ask you about the new defense. You already talked about Kelly, guys like Lewis Walker, how DeMar. How do you feel like they did in their first camp with the team?
Yeah, they've been great. I mean, everything that I've been able to spend some time with them because I know offensively what they have, and there wasn't a lot of new things other than what they want to accomplish with Bear, understanding the offense a little bit more. But with K-Pop, I wanted to be involved. I wanted to be there with him and see what he was going to do. Put him in positions where he's going to make calls like he would in the game, and understand how he's going to function as a leader. And that's from what I've already seen, and it's exactly what I thought. He's going to be in a really good spot, and I think he's going to be a great coordinator for us.
With no transfer portal opening this April, how will your month change? Moving forward this next month, and also will you still do the exit interviews and interview all the players?
Oh yeah, I think the exit interviews is key for us to communicate to the players how they did in spring, and then and set our expectations for them, what we expect for them in the next couple of months, and then and then see where they're at when we get here in the summer, and a lot of that has to go with. Some of the guys actually weren't able to play in spring or are going to come off injury. So everybody has to understand where we see them and what we want them to accomplish in the next a short-term goal, and then the goal for what they want to do when they get to the fall and how they want to compete for playing time. So the exit interviews are a big part of the process for us ending spring.
The characteristic or identity of a team sometimes is hard to maybe nail down in spring, but has anything emerged as far as this particular team for you as an identity? You mentioned leadership, but anything else like that?
I don't know. I don't think I don't know if that's my job to determine the identity. I think they'll come out, from what everybody else sees. And so, you guys have been around our players, you've been around our leaders, and you see what they're capable of doing. And I want these guys to stay humble, work hard, always stay hungry, and try to find ways to get better. And the culture of love and learn, it works. So just have them double down on that. But part of learning is you make mistakes, you learn from them. We saw that in the spring. I mean, we made a lot of mistakes. I want our guys to make as much and many mistakes as possible in practice so that it doesn't show up in the game. But what we want to do is eliminate us making the same mistakes repeatedly. So we've got to be more disciplined as a team. There's a lot of factors that go into winning games, and we've got to be on point with so many things right now. And we'll take advantage of the time that we have. But I feel like where we're at currently, at the beginning of April, I feel really good about it, but we still have some work to do. We're not ready to go to the season yet, but we will be. By the time we get to the fall and by the time we get to August, we'll be ready to roll.
Kalani, following up on the exit interview piece that you were just kind of addressing, last year there was so much conversation about trimming down and unfortunately having to make cuts. Is that even needed now with the limits? Is that even a conversation? As the guys that are here, will they be here in the fall, I guess?
Yeah, I think because we already went through that already. That's the roster is always a fluctuating thing, but more it's just us adding the guys that we were going to put on the roster that came home from missions just recently, and we have a few more that are coming home from their missions, in a couple months. But for the most part, what's been different this year is having all the high school kids that are starting now. Every one of them is enrolled with us early, and got here in January, and except for one, we have one Antonio that's Antonio Johnson that's joining us in June, but everybody else is here, and so to get a jump start on it, that's huge for them, their development. And so I've seen those guys. I mean, it's interesting. The freshmen that got here, when we were looking at our numbers, they actually got faster during spring ball, and that's a good sign. That means that there's a huge potential and upside to them, and there's no ceiling. So we got to push it and see how far we can get these guys to improve physically, mentally, and in all aspects of their life, spiritually, all that. So now the focus shifts to them finishing school. We have finals coming up, and BYU, we end school earlier than other universities. So, hopefully they can get that stuff going. We've had record GPAs for the last six semesters, and so we've got to make it 7.
And you guys, to follow up on that, you guys are one of the early starters and finish dates with spring football. The calendar is a big talking point in this sport. What do you want going forward? Spring ball as it's currently constructed, or more of a OTA model like the NFL has been floated around? Does this model still work with how spring practices are constructed?
Well, I know that there's some thought that it might move to an OTA, like a little bit more flexibility next year. This year, they stuck with the spring football calendar. Like, you're gonna, for everybody to do it in a certain amount of time, they're 15 practices, and so I just do whatever they let us, So if the rules are that you can do it like an OTA system, and you can have the flexibility of a certain amount of practices from January to the end of June, then we'll make it work. I have a great sports science group that helps us get everything ready. And if you're asking me, I don't know. That's not my expertise. That's not what you guys pay me here to do. But I have people that know that area, and once we're allowed to kind of have the flexibility of those practices, then we'll put a plan together. But until that happens, I think this is the best plan for us this year. It's nice to think about, though, how cool it'd be if we can have the flexibility of a certain amount of practices between January and end of June. But right now, this is going to work for us, and I like the plan that we have so far.
Coach, you mentioned some of the freshmen that joined in time for spring camp. What has been your impression of both the incoming class of freshmen that participated in spring camp and the incoming transfers?
Yeah, they can all play, and we're going to have a deep team. So a lot of talent, and I look at, and you can kind of, with the return missionaries, it's harder because I remember coming home from a mission, and never pulled a muscle, and then all of a sudden I get home from a mission and I pull a hamstring, and it's like, what is this, And I guess you're riding a bike and walking around all day. It doesn't prepare you for that stuff. But we just got to keep working with our return missionaries. They're coming along, but mentally, man, they're great teammates, and they're bought into the culture of the team and the culture of the developing the young people, and so we're in a really good spot. We just have to be patient with the return missionaries. With the freshmen, I think they all got better, and with the transfer players that we got in the portal, it's going to make us a better team overall, talent-wise. Can we put it all together and make sure that we put them in a position to have success? That's going to be the key. And for what I saw in spring, what was nice is that one side just didn't dominate the other. It was back and forth, which is a good thing. I mean, if we only one side was winning every day, I'd be a little nervous. But both sides were really good and had their moments, and special teams is solid right now. And having Justin Ellaby full-time on special teams is going to be such a huge advantage for us. That's what he played in the NFL. He was one of the best special teams players. So he understands how it works, and I've been really, really pleased with his leadership there. I don't know if he gets enough credit for what he does.
I'm curious, Kalani, just like a personnel note, like which players, if any, suffered season-ending injuries in the spring? Did that happen at all?
We had a couple guys, but I think more than anything, we'll just wait for the announcement when they make it. It's their own personal stuff, and we're not really in the season right now. But there are a couple that will be a little bit that nobody in the 2D, but a couple that I wish we could have.
And then just wanted to ask you, how much optimism does it give you in your program when you see this past year a non-traditional power like Indiana emerge as a national champion? Just how much juice maybe does it give? Like, hey, anyone could maybe win it if it all comes together as you guys try to pursue some big goals in your program.
I think that's really cool what Cignetti and Indiana was able to do, but we were close. We were right there within grasp of the playoffs and didn't get in, and so there's a reason why a bunch of these guys came back. I just want them to focus on being their best, and then we can perform at our best. I like our chances, but it's not like you're all in for one thing only. This causes too much stress and anxiety. Let's just be all in for being as best as we can, and then plan on executing and having some competitive advantages that I think can really stand up for us, and maybe we can create a competitive edge and a gap between us and the other schools, and that stuff happens in all the work that we're going to be doing in the next couple months, the next few months. Hope's not a good it's a good motivator, but it's not a good strategy. The fact that Indiana was able to do that is great. We have a system in place now that there's a playoff, so you've got to find a way to get there, and the best way for us to get there is to play our best football, and that's easy said than done because everybody else is wanting that same thing too. So as long as we just keep trying our best, we're going to be able to live with and be excited about the results. But hope and just taking it, hoping a chance that it'll show up. You got to go get the work done and build that confidence that you did everything you can, so you can put your head up high and take the field, with a lot of momentum, a lot of strength.
Love Kalani's attitude always. He just every year gets so much better at having the perspective, right? Year to year, knowing exactly what the most important things are, because you can get overly hyped. And that's not to say that I'm not saying Morgan Scalley's doing anything wrong. The guy is on number one. He's a high energy dude anyway, but this is his first spring,
right?
And there's nerves, there's excitement. Kalani's going into year 11. Yeah, he's going into year 11, and he knows what it's going to take. And so, I do like what he talked about with that. It was like, yeah, we can hope all we want, but you can hope, and then you have these pieces of adversity that hit you last year. It was the exit of Jake Retzlaff, like without, at the drop of a hat. And you get that, right? Program to program. Guys go on missions, guys tear an ACL, guys come back from missions and they just don't have it anymore maybe. Like that happens, So they're pretty excited about how things are going down there. But
So as a fan, which would you like? Would you like the kind of calmer experience, Kalani, or would you like the exciting, lots of juice, Morgan Scally right now?
well, with Morgan, the situation is with Morgan, you want the juice because he's a brand new guy.
Right. You want to say that he wants that energy
Right.
into the program.
And it's not disingenuous either. If it was disingenuous, you'd be like, I'm not believing a word this guy's saying.
Right.
Like, I don't believe that at all. He's never been like this. He's always been like that, right?
Right.
Head coach or not. Kalani's always been has always shown himself pretty chill. He can get fired up, obviously, but like he comes across as easygoing. And sometimes people at some point they were like, he's not going hard enough with X, Y, and Z. You know, and especially when it came down to after year 1 or 2, or year 2 when they had to let some people go, like his friends and legends, he didn't like it. I mean, he had to turn himself around because criticism started to come in. So, all right. Hey, the Copper Rock Masters giveaway starting next week. We love doing this, okay? What do? We're gonna hook up a lucky winner who's gonna receive 18 holes for 2 at Copper Rock Golf Course in Hurricane. They get a $100 gas card as well. That'll get you down to Scipio. That's a gas joke. Come on. Starting Monday, though, the KSL Sports Zone is going to hook some people up. What we do is we assign callers, and whoever gets in, we assign them a golfer out of the entire field. You get a single golfer assigned to you, and then at the very end, you have another one who just has the rest of the field, and whoever wins that one is going to be the winner. So it's the Copper Rock Masters giveaway. Copper Rock, where the pros play. I've played Copper Rock a couple times. It's awesome down there. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More to go. 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial!
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I just caught Sly doing something I think a lot of people are doing, which is going, Illinois, no shot. And you know what? I've been caught up in that. I have to remind myself that you cannot just go, oh, yeah. People have been saying Arizona, they're just going to go win it. A lot of people say, hey, Michigan, they're going to run through everybody else. A lot of people saying Arizona, Michigan, there's your national championship game.
Shoe in.
But, I mean, Dan Hurley has won 2 out of the last 3 national championships, you guys. He's on the other side of the bracket. No, it's their championship to lose. It's like, come on. And Illinois, they don't get to the Final Four that often. And so we go, well, they suck.
Yeah.
This is still a really good basketball
it's
team.
just awkward seeing them there is all.
They have one of the best prospects in the country on their team. Mm-hmm. I get it. I don't think people want Dan Hurley and UConn to do well. That's a different subject than I don't think they'll beat anybody. The experience that they have. Did you see, by the way, Dan Hurley? He said he's not toning it down on the sidelines. I wouldn't expect it. I don't want him to. Like that's like asking Kim Mulkey not to wear the bright pink and to not be annoying on the sideline.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, if administration's not holding you back, go ahead, do you.
So
what wins?
Obviously, him getting in the face of the ref was super weird.
Everyone
tried to go
for the ref. Yeah.
Everyone went into damage control. Oh, I know Craig. He's a good guy. He was fine with it when I got in his face and made it look like I was bullying him. And he's like, that's the relationship we have. I'm like, well, you got a weird freaking relationship with that ref then. His coat was hanging halfway off of his arm. You remember this?
Oh,
it looked terrible.
Oh, he was in the zone.
And he said, people need to forget about it. I'm not going to shy away from my sideline behavior. And coaches have their quirks and they have their personality and they have the thing that they're defined by. He's defined by being over the top and super aggressive. And I mean, you saw when they made that 3-point shot to beat Duke. One of the saddest things ever was to watch John Shire's face. Everyone is zoomed in. You can now watch the reaction of every person who was on both benches.
In the stadium.
And John Shire's face looked like so despondent. It had no emotion on it. It immediately turned to a 1,000-yard stare like, I blew it. This team blew it. We stink. I didn't coach this well enough. And then you look up into the crowd, and Dan Hurley's mom drops about 7 F-bombs. You go, I know where he got it. And there you go. It runs in the family. I don't want Dan Hurley to change the intensity. I do think that he gets a little personal sometimes. I bring up Kim Mulkey because Kim Mulkey, she kind of runs the show wherever she shows up. That's her personality. And they showed a video this week of her when one of the refs made a call toward the end of a game. She was on the sideline and she stares her down and she's like, Tammy! And then you can read her lips and she goes, get over here right now. That's what she said to the ref, and the ref walked over like she's a 13-year-old daughter. And she walked over there and she started dressing her down. And I was like, because when you read the lips and she goes, get over here right now. And she points, and I was like, my mom did that when I was in trouble.
Alex?
Get over here. Alexander would get busted out.
Oh.
That was when I was in trouble.
I hate the official government
The
name.
official government name with the middle name. And you're like, no. And that's what this lady got. And she dresses her down. And I was like, oh, my goodness. Dan Hurley's not going to change. He is. You know why? Because he's been this way while they've been winning national championships. If they were never winning them, and everybody goes, your style sucks, dude, and you guys don't win, no one would say he would have to consider it maybe.
Right.
But he won't do it because he's been winning natties while acting like this.
Players
it's part of the
like
process.
him,
Yes.
Community likes him. The only people that don't like him are outside of that community.
People who lose to him.
Who don't matter.
Yeah.
Who don't matter, man. And I love it. I think it's great. And, I look at things from, like, if I was on that team, would that be something that I would like or like? I just think that he has tons of personality, man. It's kind of like being on the team with Mike Tomlin. Like, all of his quotes that you guys see in the media, it's like times 10 in the meetings. Like, he's got a quote, a line for everything. He's a great players guy. He loves it. That is his personality. And you love him for that, man. So I think Dan Hurley is winning, right? If you got any problems with anything, right? I don't like that coaching staff. I don't like that player. I want more NIL money. I want this and that. Win. And everything is taken care of. Any sport, anything that you do, as long as you're winning, everything will be taken care of. And I think Dan Hurley's proven that fact right now. From not even being the number one seed, but fighting all the way through and beating some great teams and now getting to the Final Four to where you do have an edge. I give them an edge in this game, in the Final Four, and even get to the national championship of winning the whole thing. Even though I think Vegas has them as number 4, right?
Yeah,
out of the Final
Illinois,
Four, as far as odds.
Illinois has so much size, and I guess if they were saying that UConn struggles when there is an interior that matches up well with their interior guys. In an Illinois' case, they're actually superior to that interior, I think, of UConn. So it'll be interesting to see how they do.
Scheme.
But again, I trust the guy who's been there a bunch of times.
Right.
Just you get probably 5 or 7 points on the line from me if you've won 2 out of the last 3 national championships.
Oh, hands down.
They walk in,
hands
there's
down.
No like,
yep.
Wow, look at how bright the lights are. Like
I'm
none
supposed
of that.
to be here.
Yes.
Yeah.
None of that.
I'm supposed to be here.
So I think it's. I don't like the guy personally. I think he is not very nice to people. I think that his style would not work well.
In what capacity? This is competitive sports. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying is like, I think that he's probably.
How much did you like Bobby Knight?
Never liked him. Never liked him.
It's not a comparison. I just wanted to know.
I know, but when I was a kid,
over the top.
You know why? Because he went after Jeremy Schaap over his, and he said, your father is a great journalist, and you're not like your dad. It was like young Jeremy Schaap asking questions that were, and I from that point on, I didn't like the dude. And then you also grew up watching the replay of the chair getting thrown on the court, and then the blurry video of him, putting his hands on his players during practice. There's where we have a problem.
So Latrell Sprewell.
That's yes.
Fingerprints on neck, choking people out.
May have been Coach Bobby Knight's deal as well. All right. Now so Illinois has a big front. Michigan and Arizona. Let me just say this. Arizona was super smart, not just to extend Tommy Lloyd, to do it before all of this. To do it this week and to go, here's your new 5-year deal. Don't go to North Carolina. He doesn't go to North Carolina. His guys are breathing easy because they're like, our coach isn't going anywhere. He's not going to break some news to us after the tournament. the news that everybody got was Tommy Lloyd is staying in Arizona, and I'm glad he is. I like his style. I love having that type of a coach in the Big 12 that everybody has to look out for. It is so good for the rest of the league to be able to try to be competitive against that because you have the standard staring you in the face. And I think that Arizona, just by virtue of when they signed it, because they make these decisions deliberately. The timing is exactly what it was so that everybody could feel confident about it, the players could feel good about it, and they don't have to think about the stupidity of the North Carolina stuff floating around. I get what North Carolina's mystique is because, Sly, you're like me. You go to school in the 90s and in middle school and high school, and
everybody went there.
And not just, people who are good enough, sure. But how many people are wearing North Carolina gear around? Yeah. They became the Yankees for a minute. It was like Duke, North Carolina. You couldn't avoid turning the corner in the hallway.
Media blew up that rivalry like crazy.
Right, and the brand is big. They're not nearly as competitive as they used to be. And guess what? The big reason is because everybody's got money now. Everybody's got money. So North Carolina can't win that battle all the time. I think that Michigan, being in this at this point, and Arizona, they've run through their opponents pretty darn well throughout this whole thing. And those are the two teams that I would be the most nervous about if I'm UConn. I got UConn going through versus Illinois, and I have Arizona going through against Michigan.
I got Michigan and UConn. These are going to be great games. Tomorrow night's going to be absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to watch them in my basement alone, away from the world, so I can enjoy it.
Well, listen. If you're a Jazz fan, you got to start studying Keaton Wagler because he's going to be one of those names. Yep, yeah, he's going to be a name that's popping up around the time you're going to be picking.
From Illinois, yeah. He's
so you
a dog.
You have to watch. You have to see what they can do, but they just have tremendous size, and I think that UConn have big dudes, but man. The interior of Illinois is going to be a real problem for UConn. And so that's the only thing.
That's why you keep things moving. And that's why I love game plans, right? If you make it a fast-paced game to where you're all on fast breaks to where they're tired and they have to use subs and go to a different set, that's what you want to do. You want to get them out of their game plan, right? And so it could go a few different ways, right? It's all about how an experienced guy like Dan Hurley wants to attack. And that's what I'm looking forward to is seeing the strategy behind how these guys want to attack from the Michigan and Arizona game to this Illinois and UConn game. What is the strategy going in? You had a whole week to prepare. What is that? What does that look like?
All right. Hey, it's Friday. You know what that means? We have our weekly announcement of what the Win Ticket Wednesday is going to look like on our station next week. Let me see here. Do I have the right one open here? We got a... Yeah, it is the same one. Oh, my heavens. You ready for this? 2 weeks in a row, maybe some of the best tickets we've ever given away. Win Ticket Wednesday, coming up this week, is Weezer, The Shins, Silver Sun Pickups, and that's all coming to the Maverick Center September 15th. Tickets are on sale now at liveNation.com, and you can get your tickets right now or listen all day long on Wednesday and win them from the KSL Sports Zone. All right. We'll take a break. Like I said, we'll come back, and we have we got a Would You Rather on a Friday. Stay here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody. Real-life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
Welcome back. It is JJ and Alex. Stevenson Sylvester sitting in for JJ. He'll be back on Monday. And we've got quite the Friday here. I'll tell you what's going on. It's a lot of fun because next weekend we're going to be at the Masters. I mean, we're not going to be at it. Don't get it twisted.
I was about to say.
Don't get it twisted.
Who's going to be at the Masters? I didn't get memo.
I meant in spirit we're all going to be there. Okay. None of us will ever buy a ticket to that place. Here's the thing is because you have to win a drawing or you have to roll your dice on the secondary market that if they find out it's a secondary market ticket, they just cancel it. Jeez. They're the only ones that are allowed to legally sell it and you'll get busted. So here's my question for you. So my Instagram has been... I don't know why. I think it's heard me talk. I think my phone has heard me talking about the Masters too much. And my phone also knows that I like food.
You don't say.
The Masters is selling an at-home kit that's Masters branded. This isn't like somebody going, hey, for the Masters, we're going to send you some stuff. They're sending, it's like I said, Master branded, bunch of Masters cups, okay? You get the pimento cheese in a quart that they have. You get the egg salad in a quart, and they send a bunch of cookies, and you have like a Masters meal straight from the Masters, straight from the concession stand of the Masters. So would you rather have full-on Masters food, watching the Masters? Look at your face. Get out of here.
Absolutely not.
Or a Dodger dog rolling the dice on the possibility of a stomach parasite.
I'm going to just go
Dodger dog at Dodger Stadium, or Masters watching it at home with the pimento cheese sandwich. From the Masters. These are branded Masters items.
I don't care. I'm Dodger dog all the way. I thought you were going to tell me like they had some new cougar tail type of item that they're coming out with
candy
at the
bar
Masters.
this year. Brand new candy bar, by the way, for the Masters.
Yeah, no. Dodger dog all the way.
Okay, fine. What about Annapolis? What did you have that made you sick in San Francisco?
Why would you ask about something that made him sick?
Street glizzy?
Street glizzy.
You had a street glizzy?
Yeah, and you know what?
Ew,
It does agree with me.
The Dodger dog is a half a step above the street glizzy, barely clearing the street glizzy.
A half a step?
Yeah, it's not. It's not. They're not great.
That's just dirty pool.
I love it too. What my favorite part is like a lot of times food poisoning gets like misattributed.
Oh, for sure.
But
for sure.
It was him and the other guy who had the street glizzy who got sick.
That's crazy.
Some dude rolling up, cooking hot dogs on the streets of San Francisco on a grocery cart. It's not good. All right, Scotty on Tuesday. Scotty and friends going to be noon to 3 at My Hearing Centers, 8941 South, 7th East. That's Scotty G and friends on Tuesday. Join them there at My Hearing Centers. We'll take a break. We're expecting a phone call from Bear himself, Bear Tourigny, Utah Mammoth head coach. After a 6-2 win up in Seattle, it did not start good, but man, it ended really well. Stay here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The biggest name. You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Your exclusive radio home of the Utah Mammoth is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Now it's time to hear from the head coach of the Mammoth, André Tourigny.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. It's JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Kirry here. Stevenson Sylvester to my right, filling in for Jeremiah, who's out of town till Monday. And join us on the program as he does on a weekly basis when the schedule matches up. And I'm glad that it matches up today. Off day between Seattle. Oh, off day. The one-day gap between Seattle and Vancouver. I'm from up in that neck of the woods, Coach, and I've heard the weather's been pretty decent up there for you guys. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been all right. I'm actually walking back from the rink right now, so it's good enough.
That's good. I love it. Last night started off 2-0, and I was looking around, and I'm not the head coach of the team, and I get a little worried about a 4-day gap, and it was there, and it looked like it was a little bit of was a wake-up for him. Do you notice that? And what was the thing that turned those guys around? Because giving up those 2 goals at first, it was tough.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think we the first few shifts we were a little bit rusty, just a little bit of hesitation. You know, hockey it's a really fast game. You need to play with a lot of mental awareness, and we were a little bit out of sync. So the time to get back at it, we were already in the trailing by 2. But I think it started with a really good shift with Boehner's line. Boehner with JJ and Karks, they did a really good job getting the forecheck, get a few turnover, get a good body check, a few shot on net, a few net presence, and kind of give us a little bit of momentum. The following shift, we kept going, and they took a penalty on that one, and we scored on our power play. So It's a combination. I think Boehner's line got us going, drew the penalty, and then our power play got to work.
You brought up the power play. And people have been dogging you about the power play all season because you guys have had one of the lower percentages in the league. 3 for 6 last night, 8 for your last 15 in the past 4 games. How on earth do you guys get that kind of turnaround where you say, hey, we're going to emphasize this thing, and what a massive time to do it?
Well, it maybe for people it happened 3 games ago, but it happened before that. And we said it since the Olympic break. Even if we can go early February when we had our struggle, our power play is second in the league since then. You know, we did a lot of good stuff. We're at the trade deadline, we were 8th in the league after the Olympic break. So we did a lot of good stuff leading to that recent success. So there were a lot of build up. It's always the same song. We need to play direct. We need to put pucks at the net, loose puck recovery. And from there, we need to understand it's not just putting the puck at the net. It's not what goes in necessarily. It's not you need to put the puck at the net and the puck goes in. It's not as simple as that. But that gets the opponent out of structure. When you have the puck and you don't attack quickly, the opponent just gets above. They close the middle and they get the inside. And now, okay, you have the puck, but it's really, really, really tough to create something because you don't get them off position. So at the moment we start to shoot, now you don't know where the rebound will go. So now they get off structure a little bit. And now our skill, our instinct take over. And now we find the open guys and we create goals. You look at most of our goals start from a shot, a loose puck recovery. Mm-hmm. There's somebody open. Boom. We attack right away. We find that open guy. We create a goal, I think. Look at the Schmaltz's goal yesterday or even Cart's goal yesterday. We attack. We don't have really anything great at the net, but on their clearing, hit Cart's in the back and goes right in the net. So it's you create chaos, you create broken play, and that's how it happens.
So how do you keep this going? I mean, we had a great night last night. The guys came back after that first period. What things did you take from last night that you're going to be able to take to Vancouver, who's been an up and down team? You honestly don't know what you're going to get from them every night, so can't really expect something in particular. But what can you take from last night's game and thriving through the last 7 games of the season?
But what we like is yesterday, like we said, we start the game a little bit slow in the offense. We'll have loved to keep it a little bit more straight north early in the game. We didn't. But the beauty of it is we found a way to adjust and get our rhythm and play way more direct after, and we got reward. So that is one thing. The second thing is where we just talked for the last few minutes. It's our power play, keeping that mindset. And we have a lot of guys who are playmakers, who they like to control the puck and makes play. So it's always a battle for us to remind ourselves that, hey, we need to attack right away. We need to get in the inside. We need to put pucks at the net and work off broken play. And what help is our leaders, they bought in. They understand now, okay, that pay off for me. I will have situation where they will be seamed. They won't be 5 guys in the slot waiting to cut my place. Right. So more we're doing, more we have success, more we're consistent in this.
Nice.
You brought up your leaders. I mean, if you look at the scoring sheet, and anytime there's a Clayton Keller to Schmaltz hookup, I'm like, yes. And when I'm watching it, I go, man, these guys. It's like Kels likes the assist more than the goal, doesn't it? That's what it feels like. It is. It's awesome to watch.
1,000%. Yeah, and we have a lot of guys like that who are what we call pass first guy. You know, we don't have a lot of guys who are pure shooter. We have for sure Dylan Gunter, who's a pure shooter. I think Lawson Krause is a guy who likes to shoot the puck as well. We have Parks. We have a few guys, but JJ is a guy who wants to pass the puck first. Kels is like that. Schmaltz is like that. Logan Coulee is like that. So we need to, that's a little bit what I was saying just before. We need to fight against that and fight a little bit against our first instinct and putting pucks at the net because those guys are looking for passes. Kirry is like that. I can go on and on. So you just those guys are capable of doing both. But when push comes to shove, you often go back at your instinct and your what your brain tells you to do right away when you touch the puck. But those guys adjust really well, and I think they got much, much better in it, and they're successful in it. I think our offense really took off since we do it with more consistency.
And it just wears teams down, and they get frustrated. Seattle last night, a couple of double minors. Stenny gets popped in the mouth. A couple chiclets hit the ice, and the guy and he comes back out. And I'm like, man. McBain goes down with an injury. I saw today that you guys recalled Kevin Rooney from the Roadrunners down Tucson. Calling on guys, especially this time of the year, you got to have that confidence in them. How good do you feel about bringing somebody up and working them right into the rotation? That's a guy who's been in the league for a bit, and he's been on some teams.
Exactly. He's a veteran pro. He's a guy who's been in the NHL for a while. We're fortunate to have him as a dap. And I think the guys in Tucson do a really good job. When the guys are called up, they're tuned in and what they have to do, and we can use them. And we saw it a couple of weeks ago with Booter and Shimeshev at some point, or Lamoureux and those guys. I think they're doing a good job out there. When we call up guys, they can contribute. So that's really important to have that connection with your affiliate team. So we know if we need rooms, he will be ready. He's a good pro, and he will be able to chip in and help us.
Yeah. All right. So you got to kind of break down the end of the season. We got 7 more matches left. The kind of last week going in, it's kind of a tight race here in the Western Conference.
It's a mess.
Yeah, with the Sharks, the Knights, the Preds, and you guys, there's a lot of things going on right now. So what are you telling your guys? What mentality do you guys have to have going into where you're not so tight, but you're confident heading into these last 7 games of stretch?
There's nothing we can do about the 7 game. There's nothing we can do about our opponent. There's nothing we can do about the standing. What we can do something about? What do you think?
Just you guys.
Something about how we play. Exactly. How we play. At the end of the day, all what you said, it's a good recipe to get stressed.
Right.
Because you start focusing on a bunch of things you cannot do anything about.
Right.
There's nothing I can do about the schedule. There's nothing I can do about the result of the other games. There's nothing I can do about the standing. One thing I know is if we win our game, we're not going backward.
Nice.
So the only thing we can do is, and that's cool because we control that. We control how we play. We control how we bounce back last night. We control our specialty performance. We control how we prepare for tomorrow's game. That's something we can control. So let's focus on that. The rest, there's nothing we can do about.
Can't control the schedule, like you said, but it is pretty nice after tonight. You have your last 6 games, and 5 of them are going to be at home. And so that's going to be really, really good to have that home barn. How awesome would it be to be able to see and those and a time to clinch? I'm telling Sly this because I don't want you to get up in your head about it, Coach. I know you don't, but I'm telling you to have a clinching situation happen at the barn here at Delta Center. I mean, the fans are pulling for you guys already. We're looking forward to how that one goes, but we appreciate you joining us on the road. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some of the sights up there as you as you go out in Vancouver. It's really pretty up there. I love it, but man, hockey first, and we're waiting to see what this Mammoth versus the Canucks game is going to look like tomorrow. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
There you go.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
There's Bear.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I love how he got after you. It was like we were in the huddle for a minute.
What do you think?
He's like, how does that sound to you?
Hey, you get your butt out there, and you
sweaty.
find that dog.
I got sweaty. I almost said, yes, sir.
Yeah, you got it, Coach. I'm in it. I'm locked in. No, man. It's right.
Great philosophy, though. I mean,
it's the Mike Tomlin quote for me is control what you can control, right? You can't control the schedule, but you can control your attitude when you go out there, the energy you put in, and the most effort you can to get the best that you can at every second. The clock is ticking, man. And so get that win. You win now. You're not going backwards. I love it, and that is the exact message you should send to professional athletes, to your team, to send that. Control what you can control. Don't look at the schedule. Look at tonight. This is your opponent. Focus on that, and whatever comes, when it comes, we'll deal with it then. But I loved how he how he phrased that and how he's going to be able to relay that message to the team, because there's so much outside noise. There's so much outside noise, you wondering, expectations, yada, yada, yada. Guys want to win. They're ultra competitive. But control what you can control, and that's tonight. That's you going down there, that's you taking rest the night before, that's you getting enough sleep, your preparation. That's what you can control, and go out there and win it, and we'll be right where we want to be.
Look, we can't have nice things all the time, but I'm gonna have my druthers. I'm gonna have my things here. I'm gonna have the stuff that I want to see. And last night, Cooley's 2 goals, massive. And to watch that thing go down was awesome. Dylan Gunther got his 37th goal of the season. And the way that, he was the guy who scored those 2 goals. Obviously, you have all the people who are helping you out too. Gunther had this insane goal last night that was just crazy to put it to 5-2, which really put it to bed. I couldn't believe that he's going away from the goalie off of a deflection from a Cooley slap shot, and he's falling, and he puts it right under the legs of the goal. It was just beautiful. That guy's got 37 goals this year, okay? By far the best that he's done in his career. Points-wise, he's already eclipsed his career top as well. Now, he's only been in the league 4 years, but last year he had a breakout year. He scored 60 points. He had 27 goals and 33 assists. This year he's got 37 goals. 7 games left. Get Gunter to 40. Get him to that 40 goal. I think that would just be phenomenal for this kid who's 22 years old. He's going to be 23 in 1 week. And no better way to ring in the new birthday than by getting that 40th goal. I think it would be phenomenal to see Dylan Gunther get there. A fully healthy year with Cools would be amazing. But what it really comes down to is I don't know how hurt Jack McBain is. And I don't know what the returning timeline is going to look like for him. I think Barrett Hayton, I'm not sure what that injury looks like either. But not a great time of year to do it, but you can't do anything about that either. You get the injury. Injuries are part of the game.
Yeah.
But seriously,
it is, yeah.
Stenlin last night with, I think it was 5-2 already with a couple minutes left. It's 5-2, and Stenlin gets hit in the mouth with a high stick. The Seattle player gets a double minor, 4-minute power play. Those are my favorite. Oof. And the Mammoth score in the first minute of it. And they just went, and it made it or maybe that made it 5-2 because the sixth was Carconi toward the end. But man, that type of, his teeth were knocked out. I'm like, I have a hard enough time watching the guys who get the twisted ankles on basketball courts and they dislocate a knee and they're sideways. When the teeth are out, I think that's worse for me because it was all jagged and weird and he picked up a piece from the ice. I know they have a good dental plan.
And they just shrug it off.
He came right back out on the ice 1 minute later.
All right.
You don't wrap those things up. It just feels, He got hit in the teeth with a stick and it popped and it chipped those front 2 teeth. I bet those weren't even his permanent teeth. It broke the fakes. so there we are watching that thing. So you have a couple of things. Let me tell you what the rest of the lineup looks like. So they go to Vancouver. And I told you I was nervous about Vancouver because they put on 8 goals at
Colorado
at their barn. Best team in hockey. And they went the shot for shot thing that normally people can't beat Colorado on. And they scored 8 goals on the best team in the country in the NHL. Sorry, there's 2 countries involved. Although Canada hasn't won a Stanley Cup in about 34 years. That's no problem though. We still love you guys. You guys can come down and play our game. Sorry, I have Canadian friends, and I'm going to send them that clip.
No,
I'm just saying they have this game at Vancouver. Oh yeah, come on, see again. You knock teeth out of the Americans that keep going. Now Stenlin's not American, but I don't think he is. But either way, yeah, channel some Jack Eichel. Come on, man. Knock those teeth out and keep it going. Yeah, honorary American. Oh, Stenlin's Swedish. He can be an honorary American being his teeth knocked out right there. Come on. So there you go. The last games look like this. 7 games left on the calendar. They have this one at Vancouver. They come home for 3, Sorry, they come home for 2. They go back on the road, and then they come back for those final 3. So 5 out of their last 7 games here are going to be at their home barn. I don't know what the math is. I don't want to do it either. They have 84 points. They are 5 points clear of the 3 teams that are tied for the second wild card spot with 79 points. They're 5 points clear. If you win 2, and presumably somebody from that group is going to win the 2 right along with you. So let's say that gap stays at 5. At some point, you got to make sure you're there. I think the magic number would probably be if they have a 5-point lead with 2 games left,
they're in.
They'd make it.
Right.
But that's 5 games from now, you guys. I just get so dadgum up in my head about it. I just want playoff hockey here in Utah, man.
You sound like you've been traumatized a lot in your
well.
life. You need a lot more. You need a lot more optimism right now. Falto said it was like in great position right now. So I'm with him. I think that right now, this 7-game streak where we're at, you said 5 of the last 7 games are at home. This is just perfect position right now to execute. Even if we go to overtime, we get 1 point. And so, like, I think that these guys are in perfect positions to do it, and I think Coach Tourigny understands the heat and the time and the focus that needs to be had right now. So, and that's what I was just asking you. I was like, you think if we win 2 games, we got it kind of locked, or 3 or 4? Like, what does that look like? And but yeah, I think we load that Delta Center 5 of those last 7 games. Yeah, these boys will bring it home.
I think it was a key game on this. And I think this team's already going to be in the playoffs. I mean, I think they've got 85 points, and they're playing really, really well right now. Guess what? They got a shot in the arm after the whole Connor McDavid is maybe pouting about his time in Edmonton, and they've been really, really good since. They do have some goaltending issues, but I'll tell you what they don't have issues with is the Utah Mammoth. We talked about how bad the Mammoth were against Chicago this year. The last 2 years, Edmonton has never lost to this Utah franchise. The Utah version of this franchise has never beaten Edmonton, not just at home, but at their place. All. And they come back again for another home game against the Mammoth here at Delta Center. But a week ago, they beat the Mammoth 5-2, and before that it was 6-3. Edmonton has not lost to Utah ever as a Utah team, and it's one of the few teams that's the case with. I think there might be 1 or 2 in the East, but you don't play those teams as much. I'm just saying, like, the reason that game would be a massive turnaround is get that monkey off your back, and don't tell me the players don't know, because we've asked them about it before, and they're like, yeah, no, we know about it. They do know. And maybe they're not thinking about it. Maybe Bears taught them well enough. Maybe their mental fortitude is better than ours. But they know that. If they beat Edmonton 3 games from now, here at home, they will be, I think, in a spot where obviously the points are going to be there, but you're also getting there mentality-wise and going, okay, you just beat the team who's got probably the best player on the planet on their team.
Connor McDavid.
And I know Draisaitl's out, but guess what? This Edmonton team is starting to figure some things out, and they've been in the last 2 Stanley Cup finals. So don't count them out. I just think it's going to be an awesome night. So the rest of the way after that goes like this. You've got the Canucks tomorrow night. The Canucks are tomorrow night. Edmonton comes on Tuesday here. So that's the game after. Their first game at home. What a way to set the tone at home, because then you have a chance to get a 4-point swing against the Preds the game after. And 2 days after. So 2 days after the Oilers, the Preds come in. You crush their souls with a defeat. Because Carolina comes in, I don't know what level Carolina is going to be at, because they could get that number 1 spot in the East. And if you'll recall, the Mammoth had one of the biggest meltdowns we've ever seen this franchise have when they gave up 3 goals in, I think, 2.5 minutes to lose that game against Carolina a month ago at their place. So now the Canes come in. They're one of the best teams in the East. They could very well go to the Stanley Cup final. These are not easy games. I think the easiest game along the way here, if there is one, are the Calgary Flames, who have done the opposite of what their name. Vancouver's getting better. They got better at the trade deadline.
Right.
The Flames are shutting it down, and it's not that they're trying to lose; they are not making aggressive moves to win.
But they are on the backside of a back-to-back.
Yeah, and so That's up in Calgary. Yeah, they got to go back-to-back. They play the Canes at home, and then they have to go up to Calgary at their place. And then Jets and Blues to finish out the season at the home barn over here. The Jets are also, they could very well be right next to the Mammoth in the standings when that game comes around. Do you say I have tickets to give away? Love it. How about this? Well, we're just going to hand out some tickets. These are just for fun, right? Just freebies. You're just because you're being generous? Is that what's going on? Free ticket Friday. Oh,
free ticket Nostalgia Fridays.
Here you go.
I 801. Want that purple stuff.
I know. 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-9663. You get a pair of tickets to see the Black Crows with their special guest, Whiskey Myers, at the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on Thursday, August 13th. Or you can go get those tickets at livenation.com. 2 tickets to Black Crows and Whiskey Myers. All you have to do is give us a call right now for those 2 tickets. 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-9663. We'll come back, get you ready for the Utah Jazz coming up at the top of the hour, taking on the Rockets tonight down in Houston. So you're going to get a 5 o'clock pre and a 6 o'clock tip-off. Much more to go. Stay with us. 97.5 UKSL Sports Zone.
You know what's coming. Your daily deep dive into everything Utah Jazz. It's time! All season long and even in the off-season, it's Jazz Daily with JJ and Alex on your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. Of course, that music means it's the Jazz Daily right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone and the Jazz.
Who's not playing tonight?
Hold on a minute. We did get some. Oh, you know what? Actually, we need some. I heard you talking about. Hit that breaking news sounder because we got some news. And this is I don't care how much I dislike the Lakers. This guy doesn't care. Napolis is going right after you. He's like,
why is he giggling like that?
He's got a smile on his face. I don't like that.
Yeah, sinister.
So, Luka went out last night. You saw him come off the court with the hammy. Yeah. They're grabbing his hammy. And MRI today, Los Angeles Lakers star Luka Dončić, according to Shams at ESPN. Left hamstring injury, sources say, and he will miss the remainder of the regular season. His status is uncertain beyond that, out indefinitely. Is the Lakers' hopes and dreams to make it deep into the playoffs. You guys got a 45-year-old. It's pretty good. He'll be fine.
Hey, real talk, I know we're, just Joshua, but he looks good for 40-something years old.
Yeah. Is he 41 or 2?
41.
41?
But, you're just seeing him doing stuff, and I'm like,
he's definitely better than any 41-year-old's ever played in the NBA.
But a lot better than the younger guys, too.
Yeah, that's true. Well, some of that's just the wily veteran stuff. Like, you can.
Yes.
You can.
Like
you're
the way
so
he's
good. You
playing
can figure
defense
it out.
and throwing stuff. Like, I'm just like if I believe if he wanted to, he could be that 30-point-a-night guy right now at 41 years old. He could do that with the way he's moving and doing all that. I don't think that's what he wants to do, and that's what's sad. I'm like, bro, just go be a killer. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on my Lakers. But This sucks. It sucks. It really sucks because this was such a tight MVP race, right? At the end of the season, Shea definitely played.
Yeah, he's not in it. Stop it. Oh, you're talking about Luka.
Yeah, I'm talking about Luka. What the heck?
I thought you were still talking about the old guy.
No, not the old guy. No, we're talking about Luka.
He whose name we don't mention. Until he comes here on a free agent contract. Come on now.
Just blow this market up. No, but Luka, Shea, Wemby, and Nikola Jokic is the forerunners.
I do love that Wemby is like campaigning, and all the other guys are like, I don't need to do any of that.
No, man, because you're going to get guys.
So you should vote for me, Victor Wembanyama, for MVP. I'm like, why are we doing this? I can't. This isn't the Heisman campaign. So
you don't like it?
I don't like the front. I don't like the front end of the season when college teams send out like a gift box to the media and go, look who's going for a Heisman this year. I'm like, I don't like the campaign.
I agree with you.
I don't like it.
I agree with you.
It's a lot of pressure on the kid. Now, Wemby, I get it. It actually, listen, when you're the squeaky wheel like that and he's good, which he is, I just don't think it's his time. It's not his time yet. It doesn't feel like it's his time.
See, but that's
he'll be around for next year, though.
I think
it's going to be him next year.
Because you don't know if they're going to have a good year next year. That's just not guaranteed. That's kind of the aspect, and then I'm a LeBron fan, so I got to throw this back in there. But that's the mindset a lot of people had with LeBron when he was in such tight MVP races with Derrick Rose and James Harden and Russell Westbrook and all these other guys is, oh, LeBron, he'll have another shot at it next year, but they never gave it to him, so he'll never match, these other guys. But anyways, I agree with you. I think there's different personalities that get to do that. I actually like Victor Wembanyama because, one, you're actually bringing attention to what people are not really paying attention to. A lot of people are just stat lining everything like, oh, this guy's 40 points a game and this and that, not realizing that he's also got 8 turnovers a game and he's shooting 50 times a game. So, of course, he's getting that much. But, Victor Wembanyama's effectiveness in the game, like, how is your MVP? Like, redefining or really understanding the definition of what an MVP is what I believe this race is doing.
Pouring in points. It really was, when I was a kid, it felt like the MVP was just whoever won the scoring race.
Mm-hmm.
So
it should have been titled that, not MVP.
But now, because you get such good versatility, a guy like Nikola Jokic has ruined it for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, he's averaging
and look,
24 a game.
Shea was pouring the points in. That was more of like the old traditional, last year's. But when people look and they go, all right, you scored 28.7 points a game, but how many rebounds and how many assists did you dish out? And for Nikola Jokic, it's like, 12 and 11, for those two categories respectively, just averaging a triple-double, no problem.
Everybody else, though, it's low. But you look at MJ's MVP stats, he's 33 points a game, but also 2 assists and 5 rebounds.
Yeah, but usually like 6 steals too. Like he was an insane defender. So
also 30 shots a game.
Look at you make this guy. Do you hear this? This is 100% just LeBron love. He has to throw shade at MJ.
First of all,
the best in the game.
I love me some MJ.
Is he number 1?
No.
Oh my gosh! Why are we? How did I
look
ask you to
what
do
I
this
got
show
on
for
my
so long?
feet.
How am I?
These are red carpet 17s, LeBrons.
How have we gone? I love how you put it up for the camera. But I will never be that flexible. I will never be that flexible. I will never put a shoe up on my chin on the camera. No, but this is, come on. I can't believe I've asked you to fill in on the program so many times, knowing that your list is not Michael Jordan 1.
I think we got to have a whole day where we just go back and forth on this stuff. Because you got to redefine the rule, just like the MVP rule. Okay, like what makes somebody number 1?
So you're going to say he's the GOAT because he lasted a lot longer in the league?
No. If you go and look at statistics of year for year, this and that, LeBron has better stats.
I know what I know.
Here's my thing, right?
I know what I know.
What is LeBron James' career average in points?
I don't know.
27.1. I'll tell you.
Okay. I thought
what is Michael Jordan's career average in points?
Probably 29.
30.1, right? So you're talking all of 3 points or all of 2 layups, 3 free throws, 1 3-pointer, or whatever. But what is Michael Jordan's career average in assists? What was Michael Jordan's career average in rebounds, right?
Yeah,
so take away one of those assists that LeBron is doing and put it to his point total.
I will say this, though. The reason I think MJ, on top of all of it, the people I think for some reason the eye test is different for MJ. Do I explain myself? The eye test for MJ is different.
Okay.
He had something different. And I was always like, that's why. But on top of it, the thing that I always seal it up with is 6 for 6 on World Championships.
That's BS, bro.
LeBron is what in the finals?
He's.
I love how that stat doesn't flow out of his brain over here.
He's 4 of 10. Okay, I got it. But here's my thing, and
so
with
percentage.
All of that,
so from the free throw percentage, LeBron has better.
Is that what we're going off of? There's literally you could conspiracize.
Conspiracize.
That's a word. Look it up. Just play it. But literally, you can make any story narrative work, from the finals narrative to the points narrative.
Is that
whatever.
Where you were at Annapolis? You were going to show me the hardware? Is that what you're going to say? See, I was there too.
But I just told you they are taking hardware away from him. They're building teams to go against him. They're literally telling him his MVP race he can't.
They're building teams to go against him. You mean other teams got other players that were better than him, that played better than him in the playoffs?
No,
Shocker.
I mean that they put teams to stop him specifically.
Oh, it wasn't championship winners. It's LeBron beaters. That's what you added. We got to put together a LeBron beater.
I'm not saying they didn't do that for MJ. They did do that for MJ. They put teams together to go against him.
Not the Jazz, though.
Well,
Sorry, I didn't want to. Come on, I didn't want to go that way today.
Hey, we can go that way. I love it.
You're okay with
I
it.
love this conversation. It's dope, but I think it's all generation. I do think that what your aspect
I hate
is
this conversation. I hate the Jordan LeBron thing. I don't even.
I think
don't put up with it.
It's evolution, right? It's when you watch the game. When you watch the game, Michael Jordan was the newest, greatest thing ever. And then came a Kobe, which was the new greatest thing ever. And then there's just been a LeBron who's literally been dominating your television since 2003. 2002, if you want to count his senior year in high school.
Yep.
And so, like, just what have you been paying attention to? What do you know? And then after all that, if you care, do you want to go into the statistics and make it
I would say that the talent level of basketball has never been higher. And
you watched that OKC team last night? Holy smokes.
But you know what? The Spurs are kind of that way too. Like when you watch them, they are put together, man.
Yeah.
But the talent level across the entire league has never been like during Jordan's era, it wasn't anywhere near this type of athleticism, this type of talent, nowhere near it.
You probably had like 7 or 8 good
So you can
teams.
look, and he was doing it against, I don't know, the word's not inferior talent. It's more just like he was ahead of his time. He's the kind of guy that I think would come into the league at this point. If Jordan were drafted last year, he would still be ridiculous to watch. He'd still be fun to watch. He'd still be amazing to see what he's doing. And he'd be the guy, I think. But I will say that LeBron has had to do it against better defenders that they've ever been. Well, they let those defenders back in the 80s just kick the crud out of you. You could just punch a guy.
But again, is that basketball? And that's my thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, it was so much tougher."
Imagine Jordan with the
And I'm a football guy. I felt that at every basketball game I played in.
Imagine Jordan with the Euro step. If Jordan had a Euro step, just that little.
But he didn't need it. Jordan was so smooth.
I know, but
Jordan would be Shea today.
Oh, I will never put up with that comparison. I will.
I'm just saying, as far as Shea's dominance and the way Shea scores, that's how
much he gets. MJ would never go. He'd get fouled as he goes down. That was my tennis player.
Tennis or soccer?
No, you know when they hit it across the net, and he was like, yeah, that's what Shea does when he gets fouled. Please pull all this. Don't
record that, Nab. I don't need that over the airways.
That was like my Monica Seles.
Mike.
Monica Seles. You didn't think you'd hear her name today. Hey, Jazz, Rockets tonight. The Jazz looking for their 8th loss in a row. Do you say that? They're looking for it? All right. We are, though.
That is wild.
We'll come back. Beehive Meals and KSL Sports honoring the people who are the awesome sports volunteers in their communities. Just go to KSLSports.com/contests, and every Thursday we read off those winners, courtesy of Beehive Meals. They get $250, and we honor those guys over the airwaves, and then they also get a shout out on social media. So KSLSports.com/contests for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week nominations. We'll come back, get you ready for the Jazz next. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Final segment as we get you ready for the Utah Jazz and the Houston Rockets tonight down in Houston. Houston needs wins, man. I love these combos. Houston needs to stack these wins. See if they can maybe run somebody down in these last few games here in the West. And the Jazz do not need to win games.
They're begging for losses.
So, Isaiah Collier out. Elijah Harkless out. Keontae George out. And there you go. You're going to get the same group of the youngsters rolling out on the floor. I didn't have a good guess last week, so last time, so I'm not going to do it.
What? Come on now.
I'm just saying, Ace will probably lead all scorers.
I got to call it back in on Monday and be like, I'm the smartest
I'm the smartest man in the world. Yeah, so this one's an easy one to figure out because you want the Jazz to drop this one. Frankly, were the Kings in action at all? Are they still at 20 wins on the season? I think the Kings are, I don't know, they're probably right there. Gosh, that team stinks, don't they? I'm saying both of those teams do. This pillow fight brought to you by, it's not going to be a good game. The Kings, though, 20 wins on the year. The Jazz, 21 wins. Be nice if they could get to that spot where they're the fourth worst record in the league. They're at fifth right now. If they could usurp the Kings, they could get that 4 spot, which of course means they could only drop down to 8, which means they have no risk of conveying that pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who don't deserve it. I think we can all agree. Sam Presti, stop trying to steal things from people, man. I do love that when the Jazz were losing, the teams that were the most pissed about it, the team that was the most mad about it, was the freaking Thunder. And they're calling out the Jazz from the comfort of the top of the world of basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're 20,000 picks.
I can't freaking. And they're coming off of the championship, and they got the MVP, and then they're all
shut up, Presti.
Jazz. Hey, Adam Silver, they're cheating a little bit. We might, but they have our pick if we.
I'm gonna write a letter.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna write a letter. Yeah,
it's a lot to consider. But the Jazz tonight, I think it's just stacking up these last few games. The rest of the way, the actual count of games left on the season, I think, what are we down to, 6 now?
6.
6 after tonight. 5 after tonight. 4 after tonight? I love it.
For who? Oh, the Jazz.
Oh, that's right, because the last game they only have 5 left. Yeah, after tonight, 4 left. And then after the weekend, this time next week, we're going to be high-fiving each other, eating the honey buns in the studio.
We've lost enough. We've lost enough.
We don't have to do it anymore.
We don't have to look at our schedule and it's straight L's.
Yeah, so here's the good news. Like I said, the Houston Rockets, they are incentivized big time to win basketball games right now. They're in the thick of it for jockeying for spots in the West. I don't think they're going to run anybody down in the West, but I do think that Houston, look, you just got to sharpen the iron at this point if you're them. So they want to win because they want to be playing really, really good basketball going into the offseason, and they also want to be able to get to the best spot that they can. If the other teams start to fall off a little bit, they'll sneak in as well. So Jazz basketball, like I said, you're going to have the same youth rotation that you've seen over the past few weeks. And look, we've gotten used to it. We really, really like it. So I think it's one of those things. Sly, how's this one shake out here? What's your point total? Give me a quick one.
I think that the Rockets will come out on an explosion and make it 117 to 103.
Teams love to score 130 on the Jazz. 130 to 111. That's going to be mine. 130 to 111 in favor of the Rockets. All right, basketball next. Jazz basketball, that is. 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.